Welcome back to the channel. So this week we're completing our Béchamel series talking about the thick Béchamel. Now this version of the Béchamel is used as a base when you make soufflé, but because soufflé are very convoluted and it's been done to death, we're going to be doing something else. We're going to be learning how to make that thick Béchamel and use it to create something that is ultra popular at the moment. It's been trending for some time, it's showing no sign of stopping, and these are the croquettes. And you may know them as croquetas in Spain, tapas food, finger food. I'm seeing them in every restaurant as a starter. And they are these deep fried kind of nugget of goodness filled with a cream mixture, with ham, with cheese, mushrooms, sometimes fish, or anything that you want. Now, in this video, we're going to be learning how to make the thick version of the Béchamel, and I'm going to show you how simple croquettes are to make. And honestly, once you've watched that video and you follow the steps and you've made your first croquette, you're not gonna stop, and you're gonna be rocking the kitchen, creating all kinds of delicious croquettes at home, the same that you find in the restaurant, and everybody is gonna love you for it. Let's begin. All right, so let's assume you went to a restaurant, you've seen some croquettes, and you really want to make them at home. You've heard here at the French Cookery Academy that we can make croquettes with a thick Béchamel. So there we go. We're going to be making a small amount, so we're not going to use a liter of milk, but I'm going to use half a liter of milk. I've got my 75 grams of flour, 75 grams of butter, and my flavoring for my milk. I'm also going to add 1 or 2 tablespoons of cream just to make that little Béchamel base a little bit better. So that's the base. We're going to have the thick Béchamel. That's the core of your croquette. The rest is the flavoring. What do you want your croquette to taste like? Do you want a cheese croquette? Do you want a ham croquette? Do you want a mushroom croquette? Do you want a salmon croquette? Anything is possible. So all what we're going to do here is to make that base, and then you can incorporate anywhere, from a third of the weight of your Béchamel to even half the weight with whatever you want and whatever flavoring you want. So here, today, I want to make something with Parma ham and Manchego cheese. So there we have it. I've got my Spanish Manchego cheese, I've got some Parma ham that's beautiful from the deli, and I've got all the components I need for my Béchamel. I'm good to go. I can go and make my croquettes. Now let's get started. We're going to start by making the roux, which is melting the butter first and then mixing it with the flour. Remember, medium heat, we don't want to rush things. My butter is melted, I've sifted my flour, and immediately I'm going to add all the flour at once. And there's lots of it because this time we need lots of roux. Remember, this is the thickening agent that's going to thicken our milk. We're going to leave it to cook for at least, for that amount, 3 minutes on low heat. 3 minutes have passed, I've turned my heat off, and we're going to now leave that roux to cool completely. So I'm going to put this on the side of the stove, and I'm going to be preparing the milk. For the milk, we've seen this before, the heat is off. I've got half a liter, a bit more than 2 cups of full cream milk. And I'm going to be adding in here my flavoring. So we know onion tastes great in the Béchamel, so plenty of onion with some cloves attached to it. So I'm going to put a bit of thyme, 1 bay leaf is enough, and a bit of salt and pepper. A bit of salt, the ham is salty, so not too much. And for the pepper, typically it's white pepper, but because here it's going to be enclosed in my croquettes, and I like the taste of black pepper, this is a single origin pepper, I'm going to use that. And a touch of nutmeg. Nutmeg is for the purist, it is optional. I'm adding just a touch, don't overdo it, it can be overpowering. The flavoring has been added, I'm mixing the whole lot, and I'm going to turn this to a low to medium maximum kind of heat because there's no rush, and we want to give the flavoring element enough time to actually flavor the milk, especially the onion. So using a low heat is going to give you time for the flavors to diffuse, and it's going to leave time for your roux to cool down as well. So just in time, I think my milk is just about ready, and I've grated my cheese. I've cut my ham. Remember this Parma ham, this is a cured type of ham, it's about 100 grams, about 200 grams. And because I'm French, I added some parsley as well. Sorry for the parsley hater. And now, back to the milk. The milk is ready, I've just turned the heat off, and that was cooking on low heat or warming up on low heat for quite some time. And one thing to keep in mind is the level of evaporation. So when you use this precise measurement, if you want to make a soufflé or some other stuff, there was half a liter, about more than 2 cups of milk. Let's have a look at how much is left. So I filtered the garnish out, and I've put the milk in that container again, and now I've got 450 milliliters, which is too little. So this little thing to keep in mind, you don't need to make this measurement, but one of the advice I always give by default, when you want to make sure to have always the right amount, add an extra 50 millimeters at least of milk when you cook. So here it was calling for 500 ml, for instance. Put 550. Like this, you can counter that evaporation. Like this, you show when it's ready, you're gonna have the half a liter. So if that happens, all what you do, you take some fresh milk and you top up. So there we go. I'm gonna take some fresh milk and I'm gonna go up a little bit more. Oh, look, finishing the glass. Perfect, now we're done. And now for the best part. We're gonna be making the thick version of the bechamel. There's a lot of roux and it's cooled down enough. And I'm using a very sturdy whisk in here because it's gonna get thick. So I'm starting with a bit of milk. And as always, we go around the pan, we're catching all of that roux and we dilute it before we add the rest. And remember, the heat is off at the moment. Once I've got that base, it's nice and thick, the consistency of the sauce, I can then slowly and gradually add the rest of my milk. The milk is in. I'm now gonna put the heat back on to medium. And you're gonna start whisking slowly but constantly. And trust me, that is gonna thicken big time. Okay, so 5+ minutes in, look at this super thick bechamel. That's now the consistency of a paste. And all what we want here is to reach that boiling consistency. And so we got this little kind of volcano appearing on here. Up, you see? There we go. From here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reduce my heat, the lowest of setting. I'm gonna take my cream, because cream always adds something. There's not much, about what, 20, 30 ml. And we're gonna leave this on very low heat to cook for another 5 minutes, because there's a lot of flour and we want to kill as much of that floury taste as we can. So we're gonna have a warm mixture on here. We're gonna check the seasoning of the sauce. So I'm taking a spoon and I'm checking if there's enough salt and pepper. There's a slight lack of salt, but what we're gonna do here, we have to add our cheese. And that is very salty already. So always take this into consideration. Do not add too much kind of salt in your preparation before adding the other ingredients. The ham is salty as well. And it's only towards the end when everything is in that you taste, and if something is lacking, you add some more. So first, I may have to raise the heat slightly. It's gonna cool down the preparation. First incorporate the cheese. Okay, the rest of my cheese has been incorporated, it's becoming all stringy, and now time to add the ham, of course. So beautiful pieces of ham. If you want to add a little bit, and maybe half, you can. Huh? So I'm gonna go first with half, see how I go, how I feel. And it's all going with the eyes and the consistency and how the ingredients, like the proportion of ingredients. You see, when I'm mixing like this, if I'm in a restaurant, if I'm biting into a croquette, for instance, do I want to see like lots and lots of ham, or is this enough? It's up to you to judge. That's how you make a good cooking. Don't just rely on the others. Go with your own feelings, your own instinct. I don't think I'm going to use all my ham. 300 grams would be too much. I think about 60 grams, something like that, would be enough. So a little bit more, we'll be done. Oops, I almost forgot. Parsley. Yes. And now we can mix. Oh, you gotta love parsley. Look at these colors. So I think we're done here. Look at the mixture. This is the filling of your croquettes. So croquettes is that mixture, and that we're gonna bread and then deep fry. But first, before we do anything else, we're gonna have to take this out, and the magic is to leave this to cool down. This is the secret of the croquette. To be able to shape them and everything like this, you need to take all your base mixture in here, your thick bechamel, nice and tasty. And we need to let it cool down on a tray like this. Once you've laid down anything on a shallow tray that is very wide, it's going to be cooling down quickly, you put a plastic film, but not like that. This is the thing not to do, because you're going to have a crust forming at the top as soon as it cools down. What you want to do is to actually go down and you place this in direct contact with your bechamel on here. You see? All right, so when this is done, we're going to put this either in the fridge, if you're patient, Or if you're impatient, you can use the freezer to accelerate the cooling, and we're going to have to wait until this is absolutely completely cold. Now, when the bechamel mixture here is cold, and it is totally solid, this is fridge cold at 5 to 6 degrees Celsius, all we need to do now is to cut pieces of a certain grammage to make our portion for a croquette. So if you want, typically it's 50 to 60 gram, I think, for a croquette, but it's up to you, whatever size you like to do. But it is ideal to take a scale and measure each portion to make sure it's all equal. At least we're going to be shaping these things. They're all going to be the same. You don't want to end up with a tiny one, a large one, but especially when you're going to be deep frying after, it pays off to have the same portion, so it cooks in the same time as well. So let me show you. So here we are. I've got my tray. I took a bit of a portion. This is about 45 grams, let's say 50 grams. And that's the amount. You can see it's a generous proportion. And from here, what you need to do is to, like when you make gnocchi, you're going to put this in a flour, and you're going to shape this in whatever shape you like. So if you want to make like a croquette shape, like a kind of a cork shape, you can. So in your hand, you roll it well in flour. You want to make sure there's plenty of flour. And you can start rolling. So you can make a shape like that. If you want to make a bowl, you make a bowl. It's up to you. So let's see if you want to make a bowl like this. And then you make your shapes, and we're going to put this on the plate. So you choose whatever shape you like. It doesn't matter. So here we are. I've used all the mixture, and I've got 14 croquettes, and this is about 45 grams. So you can easily make 15 out of there. So once they've been rolled up, my advice is put them in the freezer to firm up for like 10 minutes, something like this. And we're going to go to the next step, which is the breading. Once your croquette has firmed up, it is time to do the breading. The breading is very simple. I've got 2 croquettes here for an example. All what you need is some eggs and some breadcrumbs. We've got the flour already on the croquettes, so we're just gonna beat the eggs with a little bit of salt. The salt helps liquefy the whole egg mix, and we're gonna plunge the croquette in the eggs and then put them in the breadcrumbs and coat them. That's it. One of the techniques that I'm using more and more is using one of those things, a slotted spoon, I think it's called. It's a large spoon, but it's got these holes. So when you take your croquette, you don't want to handle them by hand because you're going to put your finger mark, they're going to miss their shape. So I'm kind of rolling them on here and put them in there, and then I'm rolling with my spoon, I'm rolling the croquette into the egg. You don't need to have tons of it. And then I'm taking it out, so you see it drips, and I'm not using my hand here at all. I'm putting the croquette on here, and from here, then you can start the breading. Okay, close a look on here, and then I'm just, again, you want to avoid to try to press too much the croquette like with your hand. Don't kind of, squeeze them or anything like this. I've kind of gently use your hand like this and roll them in, and that's about it. If you want to have more, breadcrumbs or anything like this, you can put it back into the egg mix and then back into the breadcrumbs, but that's gonna kind of dirty your egg mixture. But this, if you want multiple layer. But here for me, you know what? This is enough. I'm gonna reserve this on the plate and I'm done. So you see, it's not difficult and you get a beautiful result. And these are cured ham and Manchego cheese croquettes, absolutely beautiful, and they're ready to go. Before you can deep fry these, there's one catch though. They need to be frozen, and this is going to ensure the best possible result. So you can't just finish them and throw them in a deep fryer. So typically you put this on the tray and put them in your freezer, and once they're frozen, they're really hard, then you can deep fry them. Now the good thing about freezing is that you can make plenty of those in advance on a tray, keep them in a box, in a container, an airtight container, and keep these for your kids, for your friends, for aperitif, as a safeguard, when you don't know what to make, and you can pop 1, 2, 3, or 4 of those anytime you want, throw that in a deep fryer, and you go to an amazing restaurant quality starter. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put these in the freezer, and when they're ready, well, we're going to deep fry. Once your croquettes are frozen, it is time to cook them or deep fry them. Now you can use other things. I've heard people using deep fryer. You could use the oven, but honestly, for me, deep frying for croquettes is the best. Now I've left mine overnight in the freezer. I think it's the easiest option. Make them, put them in the freezer, you wake up the next day, it's ready to go. For the tools, a little tray or plate with like kitchen paper, a heat-proof little spatula or a spider is called. You get something more sturdy for anything deep frying. And the food thermometers, because I am using a makeshift little deep fryer. So it's just a pan with some oil. If you have a deep fryer with the temperature set, you don't need this. But I'm gonna show you here with just a small pan how we go about it. So for the oil, if you have a deep fryer with the temperature, you don't have to worry. If like me, you got like just a pan with, this is just a liter of oil, and you're gonna put your thermometer, you're gonna wait for it to be at least at 175 and 180 degrees Celsius before you put the croquettes. Cooking time depends on the size, anywhere between 4 to 6 minutes. I think mine might be like 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm 152, I'm almost there. But the one thing you need to keep in mind is that once you put the cold croquettes, the temperature is gonna plummet. So you may have to briefly raise the heat and keep on checking the temperature you don't want it to go below 170, otherwise it's not gonna cook properly. But you don't want to do it too hot, because otherwise the breadcrumbs are gonna burn too fast. And remember, like 5 minutes is quite long. So let's get started. I'm going one at a time because I want to see what's gonna happen in case there's any problem. Put that in. And I'm gonna put my timer on. There's a lot of crackling going on here. I don't know if it's because it was frozen. Oh, you see, sometimes it can start to, the bechamel wants to escape. So that hasn't been long in. So you see, maybe my oil here was slightly too hot. 2.5 minutes in. It's come down now because my oil is 170. And I think that's the right pace. 170 Celsius. If you look at this coloring, it's nice and even. Timer is on, but I think it's done. It's starting to quiet down, the bubbling and stuff. There's a few black bits in here I'm going to remove, but it looks pretty good. So, after the next one. Okay, so I'm going to do another try. This is barely 170 degrees. Let's see how it goes. That's already much more gentle. I prefer that. Once your croquettes are ready, you're going to put them on the paper towel to drain the excess of oil, and you want to serve them as fast as possible because they can get cold. So I've made 3 on there, and now it is time for the degustation. I've just served one croquette with a bit of that, this kind of chipotle mayo under. You serve it like this to guests, 1 or 2 croquettes per person. You don't need much, and it looks nice. So, got the croquettes. There's a bit of a chipotle kind of mayo on here, and very soft. And it's just, ooh. So it's just warming up. It's not boiling up. There's a little spiciness coming from that mayo on here. I'm not sure if it's really welcome, but that is absolutely easy to eat. You will gobble up these things. Okay. I think I had one in between. I did a sneaky one. I just want to see really. It's another shape, this one. If we cut, so let's be serious. I'm going to put this on the side. Oh, look, the cheese. Look at that. And if we press, you get the bechamel, that thick bechamel is in there, and it's bite size. And a layer of crunch. Oh. That's so good. Well, now honestly, what did you think? Now these croquettes are excellent, and this is why I like the thick bechamel. Everybody wants to make soufflé, cheese soufflé. We've done that a million times. Start making something different. Make croquettes. You've seen it for your own eyes. The presentation looks like a little restaurant. The inside is creamy, it's warm, it's tasty, and you can change the flavoring. Nothing is set in stone. It is up to you to choose what you prefer. When these are made, they are in the freezer. Even more convenient that it is for kids, for guests, for family. They will be there anytime you need them. 5 minutes in the deep fryer, 170 degrees Celsius. All right, and you'll be laughing because once you start eating these things, they're just so good. It's just absolutely crazy. But that completes our bechamel series. I hope you enjoyed the whole series. If you want to see more of these kinds of mini series, let me know in the comment section. And if you want to go back to recipes, don't forget that if you sign up to our newsletter, it's totally free, and to get all the latest news, we do offer a free recipe ebook that you can download immediately after you sign up. It will be sent to you, and it's been formatted here by Kate, and there's plenty of easy recipe to make at home. But that completes the video. I will see you, of course, next time on the French Cooking Academy with something new. Take care all. Bye-bye. My appetite, don't leave me here high and dry.